Growing up, I remember watching my dad chisel out timbers, and I remember the smell of the wood in the garage as they were working there and doing their first timber frame structure in the garage. And it brings back so many memories to just stop and think about how far it's come. I'm always hoping that I'm living up to what they dreamed one day it would become. Cornerstone Timberframes started in 1990 when my dad and my uncle had this great idea that they wanted to start moving into timber framing. At the time, timber frames, it was not even a common word. Most people, especially in this area, didn't even know what a timber frame was. It started out really slow. They started out in a garage, moved to a barn. As things got busier, they increased the size of their shop, increased their space, and also increased a few employees here and there.
Since I started in '99, the company has grown by leaps and bounds. When I was hired, there were the 2 owners and 2 employees, and we worked in a small gambrel roof barn with no big machinery, just power tools, hand tools.
About 8.5 years ago, my husband and I took over from my dad and my uncle. When we took over, the main focus for us was transitioning into more automation. Our primary focus on the automation side was a CNC machine, which would do the broad cutting for the timber frame structures that we produce.
When the CNC came in, it was a radical change to our workflow. The CNC just allows us to take on the quantity of jobs. The types of jobs are still essentially the same. It's just the quantity. We're able to do much more. When I started, I think some of the frames that we built and set up took us about a month, and that same size of frame can be done in approximately a week now. We want to be as efficient as possible and use our time as wisely as possible. The focus changed, and the expertise had to be applied to using the computer instead of the hand tools.
I think it is absolutely essential for the construction industry to adapt. It's important, I think, to step back and look outside of the box and try to identify different areas that can be improved with automation, and to pursue those and understand how they can provide you with new opportunities within the industry and advance your company in ways that you wouldn't have been able to before.
In any facet of life, you have to adapt and be willing to change and try new things.
I understand the amount of hard work that went into the early days of building the foundation of the company, and for me to be able to have this opportunity to take what they started and bring it even further, it's a huge blessing, and it's something that we certainly don't take for granted. It's so important that we carry on the legacy of what my dad and my uncle started. I really want to make sure that I'm giving the value that they hoped that it would achieve, and it's so important to me to be able to do that for them and do it well.